So, in my last video on chat reporting, I might have made a bit of a tactical blunder. But, in order to apologize, I have come up with something even better. So, if you didn't see my last video on a supposed exploit I found with chat reporting, basically the idea was I had figured out a theoretical way to use client-side mods to create a message that basically in your chat report it would act like it was never there, but people on the server could see it. And then you could make a message that the person you're trying to get banned wouldn't see, and but it would get sent through on a chat report. So basically allowed you to frame them. If you convinced them to answer one question, you could make the game think they were answering a different question and get them banned for that. But it did not work because I forgot about a little technical detail. And in order to apologize, I have come up with an even better one. This one requires no mods, functions completely client-side, is very reliable, would likely get people consistently banned if Mojang doesn't patch this very, very soon. And now I am going to explain how you can do it for yourself. Okay, so here I have created a much better looking flowchart than in my last video, and for all of this video, huge thank you goes to Isostral. He helped me out with a lot of the technical stuff. He commented on my last video, and he gave me the suggestion that makes this actually function. This is still very similar to my previous exploit, but I just want to make a video update y'all and just make a video that I can link on the old video that actually shows the corrections. And also, huge thank you to Isostral for teaching me or telling me how I can make better looking flowcharts. And quick disclaimer before I explain any of this, don't try this. This is against the Mojang terms of service, and if you get caught, you'll get banned, and it won't be my fault because I have not done this in game. However, according to people smarter than me and everything I have studied on this topic, this should function. So there is an extra technical thing that I did not realize. I was under the impression that every message included the last seen message from every player on the server. Not necessarily every player on the server, but that it would also send the last seen message from yourself, which was not the case. Not what happens. There's an entirely separate thing for messages that you previously sent. So here we got the alt, who's going to be doing the reporting. We have Sarah, who's trying to bait Kevin into getting banned. Now, Sarah asks Kevin if he's a Dream SMP stan. We've already established that Kevin is a Dream SMP stan. We know that. And now, what Sarah does to break the link from this message, to make it so that your next message does not refer back to this message, is she simply DMs herself anything. Doesn't really matter what. It can be anything, as long as the alt does not see it and that it's not a public message. Or if it is a public message and the alt somehow doesn't see it, it might still work, but obviously that would be a whole extra complicated thing. Now, I was under the impression that you could use Guardian here to, or like something similar to the Guardian mod in order to break the link here. However, that does not work. Servers will not allow you to directly refuse to acknowledge previous messages that you sent. It just doesn't work like that. So here, Sarah just DMs herself something. Doesn't really matter. It can be literally anything. You can DM the word null, but I'm just pointing, like, the point here is to nullify this message here. But Kevin didn't see this message. Unless he's using hacks, he has no way of knowing that this message is here at all. So there is no longer a link between this message, and this message is being sent to the alt. It's color-coded to signify that it's being sent to the alt in a DM. And it asks, are you breaking the Mojang terms of service? And the code of this message does not include anything referring to who the message was sent to. That is just not a thing for whatever reason. Obviously, that would likely be the fix to this exploit, but we're not going to worry about that too much. And then Sarah is just going to ask Kevin, just basically double ask the question, remind him, Kevin, are you listening? Are you going to answer? Are you? This message points back to this message because this is the last message you sent. This message as far as the alt is concerned, does not point back to this message at all, because the alt never saw what was in this message. So we're going to ignore it, and we're not going to even care about this message. We're not even acknowledging that it exists at this point, because there's this thing blocking it. Then Kevin says yes, which, unless he is using Guardian or no chat reports or something like that, he will cryptographically acknowledge the RU, which points back to RU breaking Mojang terms of service, which doesn't point back to anything, at least as far as the alt is concerned. And that's just how it goes, because it is easy to say. It is like very plausible that there would be a message in here somewhere that the alt didn't see, and if they forced the alt to like acknowledge these kinds of messages, then that would just make a whole ton of other issues in the system. And the alt reports Kevin, highlights this message here, which makes it look like Kevin said he is breaking the Mojang terms of service, or literally anything you can imagine. This specifically, you probably won't actually get anyone banned, but that's just the general idea of it. And there's not a whole lot of easy ways to fix this. I think it is possible for them to just include somewhere in the message who saw it, and if the person being reported didn't see this message, then it doesn't count. It doesn't like get taken into account as evidence. So yeah, that could be something very, very interesting, very game breaking, and I can't wait to see what happens with this. This is a working chat report exploit. That's actually kind of insane. A lot of people are going to get banned. Or maybe not. Maybe no one will ever see this video. People are going to still see the last video, be trying to do that, and no one's ever going to get banned. But this is different from all the other working chat report exploits out there right now, because most of them require server-side mods, and a lot of those server-side mods will likely get patched in upcoming 1.19.3. However, this may or may not get patched in 1.19.3. It probably will when it inevitably comes out, so make use of it while you can. And you can use this on pretty much any server that allows you to report messages. So thank you very so much for watching. I will see you next time. Please subscribe, like, comment, because that really helps this video get out to other people, and it's just very encouraging for me and could bring me closer to fulfilling my New Year's resolution that I made about 6 months ago of wanting to get monetized by New Year next year. So yeah, thank you. Bye bye.